Hi guys, today I'm gonna show you how we do our delicious falafel recipe, and we will post the recipe on our Facebook page for you. Okay, so first we have to soak our beans. Here we have skinned fava bean split, and then we have chickpeas. So we will soak our beans here, and we soak them overnight. Okay, so our beans have been soaking overnight, as you can see here. So this is our chickpeas. Usually, whatever beans you soak, they double in size. Like if you put a pound of chickpeas, dried chickpeas, it will become like 2 pounds when you soak it overnight. And here's our lentil addition that we're gonna add, and this is our fava. Okay, now what we're gonna do now, we're gonna drain them thoroughly and let them dry. We're gonna spread them on a tray and let them dry before we start processing the falafel. All right, and now I drain the beans thoroughly, like I'm doing here with the chickpeas. And make sure all the water is out. Okay, and then I put it on a tray with a paper towel, and I spread them around, and because you don't want to really have your beans very, very wet, so you dry them out, because when we process the falafel, it has to be nice and dry, that and everything sticks together. All right, we'll let them dry like that, as you can see. Okay, here we are. Our falafel beans are pretty much dry, and now let's put it together. So what we're gonna need for the falafel, what we're gonna do is we're gonna grind the falafel. So it'll be a good idea like to dice the onion, the garlic, the parsley, and the cilantro. That'll be easier for us to grind when we mix it with the beans. And for spices, this time we're gonna use cumin. I'm gonna add a little bit of cardamom, allspice, freshly ground pepper, and crushed red pepper, a little bit, not much, and salt. Okay, let's put all the ingredients together and grind it. So I decided this time too, I'm gonna be adding a little bit of fine burgle to our falafel, and that will give it a little crunchiness to it, and it will combine the mixture together. What I did is I just added a little bit water, washed it out, and drained the water out of it totally. Okay, now I'm gonna put all the beans together. This is our lentils right here. Okay, now I'm gonna add my chickpeas, and then I'll add the other stuff. Okay, so now I mix everything together, all the beans that I soaked. I don't add the burgle yet. I'll do this when I grind this mixture here. Okay, now I add the onions to the mixture, the garlic, and the herbs. Okay, and I mix the veggies with the beans, so when I grind them, they all be mixed together. Okay, I personally prefer to use a grinder. This is like a meat grinder you have at home, instead of using a food processor, because the texture of the falafel it doesn't come like a paste. It comes like ground evenly this way. I'll show you how. Okay, now after, if you can see here, my falafel mixture is all uniformed. It's not like being in a food processor. You know, each grain is by itself, the same size. Now I'm gonna be adding my burgle, the fine burgle, to the mix, and I'm gonna be mixing it pretty well. Okay? So we'll mix our burgle thoroughly with everything. I like this mixture like this. I like to do it with the grinder much better. As you can see here, see, it's not paste. It doesn't be like a paste. It's more like a granular texture. And that's what you really want in falafel. Okay? Okay, now I wanna add all the spices and I'll mix everything pretty well. Okay, see, I'll mix the spices evenly pretty well. And you know, if you did this in the food processor, you won't be able to really handle it like that. This is like, I like it with the grinder, okay? Here we are, our falafel mixture is ready. So what I'm gonna do, it'll be a good idea to cover it and put it in the refrigerator for a couple hours before we start frying it. And before we fry it, we take it from the refrigerator and we're gonna add some baking powder and baking soda to it, so to ensure airiness to the falafel. Okay, so our falafel was resting for a couple of hours in our refrigerator, and now we're gonna add baking powder and baking soda and mix it pretty well, and we're gonna start shaping it. Okay, now this is the baking powder and baking soda, and I'll mix it pretty well. All right. So here we are, the baking soda and baking powder have been mixed. I like the texture of this beautiful falafel, unbelievable. See, that's what happened when you use the right equipment for it. So grinding versus processing. I would rather grind it than process it in a food processor. Okay? So in order to ensure that our falafel does not fall apart when we fry it, we're gonna try two methods to adjust the texture. One of them is we're gonna add some flour to one part of the falafel mix, and the second one is we're gonna have egg white. We're gonna beat the egg white until it's nice and fluffy and stiff, and then we'll fold it into our falafel. And we'll see which is the better way to doing it. Okay, this is our egg white. I'm gonna add it to one part of our falafel mix, and I will mix it, okay? All right, I just fold it in like that. And I think the egg white helps it to be nice, crispy, and fluffy falafel. Okay. Okay, here for the flour, I added a little water and I mixed it into a paste. This way it will adhere better to the mixture and helps it stick together. All right. So I mix the same thing. I fold the flour water mixture into the falafel mix, and I mix it pretty good. Okay, first, before we start frying the whole thing, we're gonna do a sample. This one is with the egg white, and the next to it is with the flour. We heated the oil. We have about an inch of vegetable oil, and we heated it to be like to 325 temperature. So now we're gonna try to see how it works. Okay, this is the one with the egg white. All right, it's working pretty good. Okay, and this one with the flour. Let's see how it works. Well, it's working pretty good as well. Okay, I'm gonna check. Here we are. See, they're very nice. This is a nice color you're looking for, and both of them, they did very good. So now I'm gonna put it here, and I'll check on the other one. As you can see, it really fried pretty good. All right. You know, for falafel, this is a special scoop for falafel. You know, it opens up and down, and you have this, and you fill it up like this. So you take falafel and you fill it up like that. You can buy this in a specialty Middle Eastern, Lebanese store, or we're gonna show you that you can do it by hand as well. And afterward, be easier for you to put it in a tray like this and then transfer it to the frying pan. And I'll show you how we do that, okay? Okay. And you can also do it directly to the frying pan as well. You just do like this, and you dump it there. Okay? But of course, it's much better for you at home to use a spoon. It's easier and safer for you, okay? Here we are. And you keep checking on your falafel. Make sure this is the color we're looking for here. Here we are. Okay, so if you're not gonna use one of these specialty utensils, so what you could do it by hand. What you could do is you take a little bowl like that, you work it up with your hand like this, see, and then you make a patties like this, and that's it, see? Okay? And it will be a very good idea, like if you form your falafel and put it on a tray before you start frying. This way you'll be in control. So you prepare your falafel, and then you start the frying. Or you could do half and start frying and continue shaping the falafel. Well, it's up to you. It's a matter of practice, okay? And as far as frying, you could use, you don't have to have a special falafel wok or anything that's professional restaurant have. You could use any pot you have, like suitable pot, like the one we have here. Make sure it's like a deep so it doesn't splash around. And you put like about an inch or so of oil to be, this way the falafel will fry properly. So I can fry as much as I can fit in the pot here, but you have to be careful though. All right. You want them nice and crisp, golden color, and then you take them and you put them on a rack, on a tray like that. Here we are. This is our beautiful falafel. Okay. Here we are. See the one on the left hand side, these here, that we done by hand, and these here on the right hand side, we did it with the mold, with the falafel mold. And for sizes, it doesn't, well, it's up to you. If you do it by hand, see this little thing here, you can do small falafel like that for hors d'oeuvres. Say if you're having a party or something, you make bite-sized falafel like this with vegetables and tarator, sesame dressing, and you put it for your party to enjoy. Okay? Okay, I'm gonna show you how crisp this thing is, you know. Can you get it? It's beautiful. It really cracks and it's very crisp and delicious. Just right. Okay? Here we are. I'm gonna show you how I do my falafel roll-up. What I like to use is whatever you have in hand, you know, at home. I have this mixed salad here I'm gonna use. I'm gonna use some sliced tomatoes, some sliced cucumbers. So what I did with the salad is I just simply seasoned it with salt and pepper and a little bit of good olive oil. The same thing with the tomato and cucumber. I always like to season my different ingredients separately. This way you don't lose any of the taste of the main dish. And I have here my Lebanese Middle Eastern bread. And of course, we're gonna have the tarator, which is the sesame sauce dressing. I'm gonna show you how I roll it up. Okay, what I like to do is in the Lebanese bread, you split it in half. I like only to use half of my bread for my roll up, and I'll use the other roll up for something else, or I'll make another falafel roll-up. So what I do is I use some of the lettuce like that. You put it on one side like this here. You add a little bit of the tomatoes if you like, or some people like to put pickles, turnip pickles or other pickles with their falafel, which is fine. So this is tomatoes, and I'm gonna add a couple 3 cucumbers like this, like that, and then I'll have my falafel. So I take the falafel and I crush it. See how nice and crunchy it is? It's beautiful falafel, really. Looking nice and crunchy. See? You can hear the crunchiness of it. So the reason you crack it, because you really want to taste everything inside. So I'm putting here like three balls of falafel here, like that. And then what I do is I use my sesame dressing, the tarator on it. And the amount of the dressing, it's up to you. I like extra dressing on my falafel, so I add as much as I want. And what I do is I have to roll it up. So you go like this. You know, it's gonna be a little, and you roll it up like that, like a sushi roll up. You know how they do sushi? It's the same way. You roll it up like that. And here you are. You have a beautiful, nice falafel roll up. And this is, of course, I'm using here the large Lebanese bread, but you can always use the medium size, the one you buy in the market. And then what you do is, you know, if you like, you can cut it in half. And voila. It's beautiful, beautiful falafel. Okay? Okay, guys, I hope you try this at home and you let me know. Okay, bye for now.